Do you trust a guy? Do you trust the man you're with to be a safe place for you? Do you trust men to be yourself, your natural self, and express yourself, show who you are, show your emotions, share your ideas, just totally be yourself? If you don't, you do not trust masculine energy. Choose a man that you admire today, not a man that you hope will change tomorrow. If you're a woman who is in a relationship or you want to attract a man that is masculine, strong, powerful, generous, loving, protective, a real provider, or if you're in a relationship with a man that you want to inspire his masculinity to come out and be more of a leader, this episode is for you. You can't afford to not watch this episode. Welcome back to the Blooming Podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you guys today because we're talking about the secret formula to get a man to provide for you, to protect you, to what I call step into their masculinity, to be generous, be loving, for you to feel desired and for you to feel really secure and like a man is really committed to you. Now, I think that the biggest question about masculinity or femininity is, what do those look like? How do you do it? I think it's a term that's used so much in the social media atmosphere, just in general, but I never hear people really explain it. And what most of the time we hear is like leadership, protecting and providing for a man. And for women, it's like a receiving, it's a being, it's following. And these two polarities, these two ways of being can feel really difficult for a woman. If she's used to being in charge all the time, especially if you're like an entrepreneur, if you're very successful at work, this state of being in your soft feminine, which a masculine man is really attracted to, can feel really hard. And so a lot of women, all my clients suffer from this. They come to work with me because they say, I am so great at business, I'm not good at love. And usually it's just the inability to compartmentalize your masculine and your feminine energies and turning off your masculine and going into your feminine. Now, why is this important? Because the masculine is all about action. It's about solving problems. It's about getting results. It's all about doing. It's about analyzing, being in your head, thinking and solving, and hunting, going after things. My masculine women, my women that are entrepreneurs, really successful in business, you guys are really good at that, right? But you're like, I want to stop doing that in my relationship, because when I do that, I tend to attract a guy that is, for lack of a better term, kind of lazy in love. Yeah. He's not really stepping up and planning and doing and like leading you. You're not really respecting him. You don't see him and think, wow, this is my man. I just like admire him. And he's good at love maybe, but he's not good at that protection. And so you don't really feel secure and safe. You feel like you're that version in the relationship. You feel like that's the part you're playing. So my clients come to me and say, how do I do this? And a lot of people just say, just turn it off. When you're with the man, just relax. But that ability to relax has to do with certain feelings that you need to feel with a man in order for you to relax. Okay. And a lot of women can't quote unquote relax and just let a guy lead because of some deeper things that I'm going to get into in the end of the episode. But I want you to see that to let a guy step up and be in his masculine and lead requires you to chill out and just trust him to take the lead. And you have to allow him to essentially say, this is where we're going. And you're like, okay, why is this hard for you? Why is this hard for women? And what is it that I think most of you guys are quote unquote doing wrong? Why it's not working for you? Here is why. Women tend to love a man and think that if they love a man, it's going to get him to be in his masculine, right? If I give him what he needs, because I know that's what I need. When I feel loved, I feel so good and I could just relax. I'm going to love him too. But here's the problem with that. Men don't need your love. They need your trust and your respect. For a woman, love makes you feel feminine and soft and you can relax. For a man, respect and trust make him feel strong, powerful, and feel capable. So one of the things that I noticed is the biggest mistake that women make is you love a man and you think you loving a man is going to get him to step up, and it doesn't. It does the complete opposite. And I'm going to explain why. Most of you guys are, this also leads, when you love a man, this also leads to the second biggest frustration that I hear women say is that there's no good men out there. There's just like guys in potential and they're not stepping up into their potential. You loving him is actually what's keeping him in his potential and not stepping into his purpose. Now, I'm not saying that it's your fault. No, men are responsible for living out their purpose. But a lot of women don't realize that when you trust and respect a man, it actually it's like giving him fuel. It's like power charging him. It's like charging his battery and putting gas in the car, and literally makes him step up and feel more powerful. So I'm going to explain why that's happening. Okay. When I say that men don't need your love, they need your respect, it's very, very true. I think a lot of you guys have probably heard this. There's a really famous book called Women Need Love and Men Need Respect, or something like that. I forget the name of it, but it's a really popular book. And these doctors break it down. I forget his name, whoever wrote it. It's a really great book. You should definitely read it. I'll link it here below in the show notes. And the reason is because men and women are different. Women need love, men need respect. For us, when we feel loved, we feel taken care of, we feel protected, we feel safe. And that's what makes a woman feel feminine, right? And if a man when he feels respected, he can now, it's like putting gas in his car, right? And he feels like he can take action now. Most of you guys don't realize, but you're not respecting men. It's not your fault, but I'm going to explain why this is happening. So in this episode, I'm going to break down why love alone cannot keep a man, how trust and respect change everything, why a man stays where he feels strong, powerful, and capable, and most importantly, how to choose the right man today, or how to, even if you're in a relationship, this is not just for the single ladies, in how to inspire your man to step into his masculine, or when you're a woman, how to choose the right man that you'll respect so that he can always be charged and be in his masculine. Okay. So grab your cup, grab your coffee, get comfy. This is such a good episode. All right. So I'm going to go straight into it. I'm going to kind of hit you with the truth bomb. Okay. Men do not fall in love the way women do. All right. We all know that. I've talked about this incessantly on this podcast. The differences between men and women are so drastic. We're so different. Why? Because we have two different purposes. Men are hunters. They're go-getters. They're meant to provide and protect. They're meant to be strong. They're meant to give. Women are the opposite. We're gatherers. We're receivers. We're meant to multiply. We're meant to receive, to just be us, be yourself, be authentically you. So guys, we're both creators in a sense. We create life and they create other things, right? But we're made differently. And so because of our purposes are different, right? Gatherer, hunter, right? Receiver, giver. Because our purposes are differently, we're designed differently. And because you're designed differently, you have different needs. It's just like a truck, and like a diesel truck and a BMW. Because they're designed differently, they need different types of gas, right? Because our purposes are different. We have different needs. We need love. Men need respect, okay? And they make us feel different ways when we receive these needs. If we need love and men need respect, they make you act and feel and do certain things very differently. They make you think different things, right? So if a man doesn't feel respected by a woman that he is with, he can't fully love her the way he needs to, okay? I just want you to think about that. If a man doesn't feel respected by a woman, he can't fully love her the way he wants to, right? Respect, by the way, and so let me explain this. Respect is not about worshiping a man. It's not about thinking he's perfect. It's not about giving up all control and letting him do everything and you just sit there and kiss his butt and rant and rave about him, right? Respect is about believing in him. It's about valuing who he is today. And it's about not treating him like he needs to be fixed or he needs to change. It's about accepting him right now completely as he is. Okay. Here is where a lot of you are going wrong. Here's where women are going wrong with this. You love a man deeply, but you don't respect him because he hasn't earned it. Okay. Plain and simple. You love him, but you don't respect him because you don't think he's earned it. And I'm going to get into a little bit more about why that is. You love him, but you don't trust him to lead and take full responsibility over things in your guys' life. Okay. You love him, but you're constantly trying to change him, hoping that if you change him, he'll finally step into his potential. He'll finally become the version of man that you want him to be. Okay. Let me know. Does this sound true to you? Does this ring true even if you're dating? Okay. This isn't just for women in relationships. And if it is true, we wonder why men pull away, right? You're not respecting him. You're trying to change him. You won't follow. You don't go to him for advice, right? He hasn't earned it. So you kind of diminish him. And we wonder why guys aren't loving us or treating us the way that we need to, right? Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to consider. How would you feel if you were in a relationship with a man and he basically implied or straight up told you, I'll love you and I'll desire you and you'll be the only woman I'm attracted to and I'll commit to you once I fix you, once I change you, once I change your hair, once I change where you work, once I change how you talk, once I change how you dress, once I change your weight, once I change how much money you make, once I change everything about you, then or 5 or 6 big things about you, then I'll like you. Then I'll commit to you, right? How would you feel? I don't know about you, but I would not feel okay. I'd be like, you got the wrong chick. Go find somebody else, right? Like clearly you're trying to make me into somebody else. I'm not the person for you. I want you to think about that with a guy. Why are you choosing a guy? Why are you with somebody that you care about, you love, but you don't respect? You're trying to change him. You wouldn't follow him. You don't admire him. You don't trust him, right? So let's think about that. And if men need trust and they need respect, and that's how they feel it, by admiring him, accepting him as he is, by not trying to change him, by trusting him, by following him. And when I say follow, ladies, it's just like when he's like, hey, I have this investment idea. Let's say you're married. I have this investment idea and you're like, babe, I trust you. Like go, like all day. Or when he goes out with his friends and or goes to the gym or just runs an errand, you totally trust him because you trust his character and who he is. I want you to consider that a lot of you are choosing a man just because you like that he likes you. You like that he wants you, but you don't actually respect him. And this is the biggest issue why he is not giving you what you need in a relationship. So let me break this down. I want to talk to you guys about mirror neurons. I'm a geeky nerd, love neuroscience at heart. So I will always bring you back to science so that you can understand how the brain and body work and why connection and disconnection feel hard with men and women. It's the biggest thing that I teach overall. Okay. So, let's talk about why trust and respect change everything and what it has to do with your body and your brain. All right. So mirror neurons are these special cells in our brains that make us naturally reflect what we see in other people, okay, what we receive from others. For example, if you smile at somebody, notice how naturally they'll smile back at you. Have you ever noticed that when you yawn, other people will yawn, or they mirror when you're sitting next to somebody, they'll mirror your mannerisms or the way if you sit back, they'll sit back. If you come close, they'll come close. It's because of these mirror neurons in our bodies, okay? So how does this apply to relationships? When a man feels trusted and respected by you, his brain will naturally mirror these emotions back to you, and he will want to love, protect, and provide for you more, or just naturally, right? And I'm going to say that again. When a man feels trusted and respected and accepted by you, his brain will naturally tell him, okay, I'm accepted here. It's safe here. It's safe for me to give love. It's safe for me to protect her and provide for her, because he feels strong and capable. When a man feels trusted and respected, he feels really, really powerful. It's like putting gas in his tank. It's like charging his battery up. He is fueled with trust and respect. Okay. But if a man feels criticized, if he feels doubted, or if he feels mothered by you, he mirrors those emotions too. Okay. But in a negative way. What he'll do is he'll lose attraction. He'll pull away. He'll feel unmotivated to show up for you. He won't feel like this is a safe place, and he won't want to be there. Why? Men do not stay in places where they don't feel strong, powerful, useful, purposeful, needed, accepted, capable. If you give off the vibe, I don't need you, I don't trust you, I don't respect you because look at the way you are, a man will not stay there. He won't want to go back. He will leave. He does not want to feel inadequate. And that's how he feels if a woman doesn't trust or respect him. So I want you to think, do you trust a guy? Do you trust the man you're with? Or in general, when you're dating, do you trust men to be a safe place for you? Do you trust men to be yourself, your natural self, and express yourself, show who you are, show your emotions, share your ideas, show your personality, share how you really want to look and express, just totally be yourself? Do you trust that it's a safe place to be yourself? If you don't, you do not trust masculine energy. You do not trust men. This happens, ladies, because somewhere in your past, leadership energy, the energy that was supposed to be there for you, you couldn't rely on it. And so now because what happens is the brain learns if it's not safe for me to be myself. It's not safe. I'm not going to get provided for. I'm not going to get safety. I'm not going to be accepted. I'm not going to be loved. If you were told as a child, you're too loud, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, or you need to be perfect, you need to always stay skinny or be quiet, or you were just abused or neglected, or when you expressed emotions, you were told, be quiet, it's okay. And you were just kind of told to not diminish. Well, they are diminished, but you're told to be quiet or it's okay, or just suppress it. What you learn is who I am. It's not safe to be myself. I'm not accepted as I am. So I can't trust that if I'm myself, my natural self, my mom and dad are going to take care of me. Or this could have happened in another relationship with a man, right? Because I do this show for ladies. So if you were rejected, if you were abandoned, I call them the rejection and abandonment wound. I'll be talking about this in the next episode. If you were rejected for who you are, or if you were left alone or abandoned for who you are, or what you thought, or what you said, or because of who you were, the psyche is so amazing. God made us so beautiful, where he protects us and he made us, he knows that if you're a little 1-year-old or 2-year-old or 3-year-old and you're not being taken care of, right, I still need you to stay with your mom and dad, because you can't work. You can't take care of yourself. You don't know how to feed yourself. You don't know how to make money. So I'm going to make it so that instead of rejecting your parent and saying, hey, there's something wrong here, like you're not treating me right, you should be treating me kindly, because like I get to just be me. Instead, it's called our attachment system turns inward and says something's wrong with me. I'm just not going to do that anymore. And I'm just not going to be myself, and I can't show up this way, or I need to be perfect, or I'm not perfect enough. So what ends up happening is leadership energy, masculine energy, the energy that you need to rely on to feel safe and be loved, which is what masculine energy is. Okay, ladies, remember that. If you weren't able to trust it, you probably don't trust it now when you're dating. You probably, and I want you to think of it's low key, it's subconscious. No one walks around. I don't think most people say it. And some women do. They're like, I don't trust men. Clearly you don't, right? If that's what you believe. But a lot of us believe that we do trust men and that we want a man, but we're what I call double-minded. You want a man consciously, but subconsciously your heart, your soul doesn't trust it, doesn't feel safe around it. So when I tell women you need to trust and respect men, if subconsciously you do not trust masculine energy, the energy that is there to provide and protect for you. This is even God energy, right? This is the masculine. This is God provision. A lot of people who don't believe in God, it's because they don't trust masculine energy, right? If you believe in God, but you don't believe what he says about you, again, it's it's trusting masculine energy. You have a deeper, what I call rejection or abandonment wound that needs to be dealt with. We'll talk about more about that later. So again, going back to what men do when they feel trusted and respected by you, what it does for him is it makes him feel strong, okay? Like he's capable and competent, okay? Like he's smart, like he's intelligent, like he's just strong and he can protect you, okay? He feels respected, like his efforts are appreciated, like, oh, what I do makes a difference, right? And she needs it, it's appreciated, she's thankful, she's grateful for it, and he feels needed, right? Men stay where they feel needed. This is like, he feels purposeful, like, oh, I'm needed in this relationship. Like she actually needs me. And I want you to think about that. In the last episode, I talked about this, where a lot of men know that they need a woman. They don't walk around saying, we don't need a woman. We don't need a woman. They know they rely on us for things. A lot of women are the opposite. We get very defensive and we say, I don't need a man. I'm going to work. I can provide for myself. And then we start believing I don't need a man. And when a man doesn't feel needed, guess what he does? Okay, then I'm not needed here. Unless I'm needed here, I'm not going to protect and provide. Why? Because men are internally driven. What that means is men make decisions based on their values, their goals, their standards, and their self-identity, who they see themselves as. Men by nature see themselves as hunters, protectors, providers. So when he is in a space where that is reflected back to him, like, oh, I can protect here, I can provide here, I'm needed here, I can go out and do things and be a man here, that's where they stay. They will not be anywhere where their identity isn't reflected back to them, because they're so internally driven, right? But the second that he feels like you don't believe in him, this makes him feel weak, powerless. Does the complete opposite. Instead of making him strong, he feels weak, okay? The second he feels unaccepted, this happens when he feels like he's not enough. Like what he's doing doesn't, like it's not accepted. He's not, he's rejected. He's trying to be changed, right? Like I need you to change your hair, and you need to lose weight, and you need to change your job, and you need to make more money, and you need to love me more, and you need to just do things differently. A man doesn't feel accepted. And so the moment he doesn't feel accepted, and he doesn't feel needed, women who just have it all together and say, I'm strong, I'm capable, I don't need you for anything, I just want you. No, that's actually the wrong thing to tell a man. I don't need you, I just want you. No, a man needs to feel needed. Why? This makes him feel, it brings up that feeling of providing and protecting. When he feels needed, he feels trusted, he feels respected, and it brings up that natural desire to take care of you. So essential. So if you're trying to lead, if you're trying to fix things, if you're trying to control everything, doesn't feel needed there. Okay. And so if that happens, he'll naturally distance himself, not because he doesn't care about you, not because he doesn't see like, man, she's such an amazing woman. I wish I could be there with her. Right. But because no man stays where he feels inadequate. He won't. It doesn't match his self-identity of him being protector, provider, strong. He's like, this doesn't match. I got to go. Right. And if he feels inadequate, if he feels not accepted, if he doesn't feel respected and trusted, he's out. He's not going to stay there. But if he does, if he feels appreciated, if he feels loved, if he feels respected, if he feels trusted, if he feels totally like, man, I admire everything you are, that's where he stays. That's where he's going to want to be. So one of the things I notice that women do, and we do this from the most beautiful, empathetic, sympathetic place. Like it's such a beautiful thing we do, but it's actually, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. Now that you know what trust and respect and admiration do for a man's love, let's talk about the biggest mistake women make. Choosing a man based on his potential instead of who he is today. I'm going to say that again. The biggest mistake women make with men is choosing a man based on who he'll be later instead of who he is today. Okay, let's be real. Have you ever dated a guy and thought, or maybe you're with a man now and think, if he could just get his life together, he'd be perfect. If he just fix these things. If I can help him grow into the man that I want him to be, I can help him grow into the man that I know he can be. Okay. Or have you thought he has so much potential. I just need to be patient. I just need to wait. I hate to break it to you, but that's not choosing a partner. That's choosing a project. I'm staying quiet on purpose. Let's call it what it is, ladies. Let's call it what it is. And I hear lots of men say, I want a woman that's going to be with me through, working through the times where it's like, it's slow, or I'm building my business, or I'm getting my life together. That's totally different, guys. I see that. That's great. A woman will be with you if you got a plan and you're working on it. That's totally different. I'm talking about choosing a guy that is just not doing anything and has no drive, no desire, nothing that's admirable in him, nothing that you respect. And a woman's like, he is a loser, deadbeat, scary, dangerous man, but I'm going to pick him. No, that's what I'm talking about. Those are men with potential. I'm not talking about guys that are on their way. You're working, you have a plan. That's totally different. That's a guy with a plan. That's not a guy with potential. You're on it. Women, we want that kind of a man. Know the difference, ladies. Those are two totally different things, right? So when you choose a man that you have to fix or save or help or mother or coach or therapize or teach, you put yourself in the masculine role, right? And that kills attraction, completely kills attraction. Why? Masculine men aren't attracted to masculine men. They're totally attracted to the feminine, right? So instead of choosing a man based on how much you love him, how much potential you think he has, how much you think that you can help him grow, and how much you can fix, and how much you can change him, right? Ask yourself, do I trust him today? Do I respect him for who he is right now? Do I admire his character and not just his charm? Could I accept him fully without him ever having to change? Without hoping he'll change? Woo! Big questions for you to ask, ladies. Because here's the truth. You can't build a relationship built on what ifs and wishful thinking. You just can't. It needs to be on facts and who he is today. So I want you to consider, I really want you to think, ladies, are you choosing a man that you do not respect today because you're hoping he'll change later? And typically the reason I see this is happening is because you're used to being in these chaotic relationships, and they mirror your past relationship with your parents, of parents that didn't have it all together, didn't provide, and you always had to make up the difference for what they didn't bring to the table, right? You always had to change. If you had to change and you had to just settle, and then you got what you wanted, then you felt loved, right? And this is that same dynamic. If you're choosing men that you don't respect now, hoping they'll change later, this happens when you're impatient and you're just so in need of love, and you're in lack of self-secure attachment within yourself and trust within yourself and authentic love for yourself. You will settle for whatever you can get, and you'll take it, instead of reminding yourself, I need to be with the man that I respect. Because if you choose a man that you do not respect, you are breaking him down, and you're only hurting yourself too. You're hurting both of you guys. You're going to traumatize him and reject him for who he is, when he's somebody else's husband. He may just not be the right guy for you, right? You can love a guy and think he's great, ladies, but if you do not respect him and say, this guy, I admire him, I would follow him, I respect him, I would go to him for advice, those are signs that you respect him. So a lot of reasons that women aren't choosing men that they respect is because they're used to making up the difference. They're used to picking a guy with the deficit, but later you will only not respect him later. You're going to want to change him. And a man, nobody wants to be changed the same way you don't want to be changed, right? Respect is the most essential thing. So I always tell my clients, respect, 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 respect. It is the number one emotion that you should feel for a man, not love. Love is what he needs from his mom. Love is what he needs from his sister. Love is what he needs from God. Love is what you need to respect him. And that feels like love to him. It does feel like love to him, but you need to choose a guy that you just totally respect. And if you don't, I want you to notice that it has to do typically because you are just like, I think I can change him. Well, I guess it's like good enough, but it only shoots you in the foot later because you will you'll be upset with who he is, thinking, why aren't you different? And guys are honest, ladies. They tell us exactly who they are. Believe them when they show you exactly who they are. And if you don't respect that, that's somebody else's husband. Leave him alone. Don't bother with him. He is great as he is. Some guys just take a little bit longer to ripen up, right? He's not your person. Wait for the man and go for the guys that you respect. Don't just go for love. Love is not enough for him. He doesn't want your love. He wants your respect. He needs your respect. Here's the other thing that I need to really drill down to you. When a man feels respected, the really interesting thing that happens to him is he feels really strong and powerful and capable. And again, it's just power. It's literally fuel into his body. He actually gets full with testosterone, which is the hormone that literally makes him move and motivated to take action. So when a man feels respected by a woman, he fills up with testosterone, and it literally is the thing that makes a man masculine, and estrogen is the thing that makes a woman feel feminine. So when he gets testosterone, he feels super, super masculine. He feels motivated to go hunt, take action, drive forward. And ladies, men go to the places where they feel strong, powerful. They continue to return to go back to those places where they feel respected and trusted. I want you to notice, do you not trust men, right? Are you choosing guys that you don't respect because you're just lonely, because your life sucks, because you feel like something's better than nobody, right? These aren't reasons to choose a man. That's your problem that you need to fix. This is what I help my clients with in Segura in my coaching program, to get to the deeper places where you're good on your own. We call it singleness. It's that wholeness that you need to fill yourself so that you love yourself completely, and you choose, instead of choosing a man that you need to love or that needs to love you desperately because you're in lack, you are in fullness, you are in full singleness, and you're choosing a man because that is the biggest quality that he needs to feel in order to give himself. A man feels literally motivated to protect and provide for a woman when he feels respected. I'm going to read you a stat because I think this is so important. Here it is. Testosterone boost enhances masculine energy. So let me read this to you. Trust and respect can lead to a natural spike in testosterone, which is associated with increased energy, focus, and motivation. This hormonal boost amplifies his drive to pursue, protect, and care for the woman who inspires these feelings in him. Ladies, if that's not a reason to understand that you need to respect him, and this needs to be genuine respect, ladies. It's not like I'm just going to fake respect him. It's palpable. I think men can sniff out fake respect, when someone doesn't really respect them. You really have to truly, truly respect them. Get clear on what makes you respect a person. Everyone's different. What makes me respect a man is very different than what you might, the qualities in a man that will make you feel like you respect him. Okay. Again, and then high testosterone is linked to behaviors such as increased confidence, decisiveness, and attentiveness, making him more engaged in a relationship. This is why a woman feels loved when a man feels respected. It's that beautiful cycle. Again, read that book. It's so great. So here's what I want to offer you. Do you want to know if you're doing things that make a man feel not trusted and not respected? Click below. I have a great guide, and it's called 25 Behaviors That Break Trust and Respect with a Man. It is so important. Some of these might blow your mind when you realize that you've been doing them. So that way you can know, wow, if you do these, ladies, it is proof that you don't trust a man. Here's why I'm saying it. I'm being so definitive about it. Your behaviors are created by your emotions. Your emotions are created by your thoughts. Your thoughts are created by your beliefs. Your beliefs, whatever you believe, if you trust men, if you believe that they're good, if you believe that they're safe, whatever your deeper beliefs are, it will show you what your actions are. So if you're doing these things all the time in this guide, you'll see like, wow, this is proof that I don't trust men, and I probably have a deeper rejection or abandonment wound that needs to get taken care of, that needs to heal. This is what I help my clients with, because when you heal that wound, relationships feel easy. It's literally the key to being able to trust a man, respect it, and choose a man that you respect, not a man based that you're choosing just for his potential. This is the worst type of relationship to be in. How do I say this without putting myself on blast? Like I've been with men that I chose that have potential, that later I'm going to inspire him so much. No, ladies, you're not his savior. He has one savior, Jesus Christ. You are not a man's savior, and a man is not your savior. Men aren't there to save you, and women, you're not there to fix or change or save a guy or help him. That makes a man feel mothered. It does the complete opposite of the intention or the result that you want. When you try to fix him, change him, help him, love him, he feels like a little boy. He feels mothered by you, and a man doesn't want to feel like a little boy. He goes to the places where he feels strong and like a man, and he feels like a man where he is trusted and respected. Stop choosing the guys that you think you'll respect guys with potential, and hold out and wait for the men that you respect, and notice why you're not doing that, right? So definitely download this guide if you want to get clear on the 25 behaviors that break trust and respect in a man. And if you're doing these all the time, if you notice that these are things that you're constantly doing, I mentioned them some in the episode, like not being thankful, not asking for support, not accepting him, trying to change him. These are all things that make a man feel not trusted and not respected. He'll walk away from those environments, ladies. Okay, get that book and learn what the 25 behaviors that actually create trust, make a man feel trusted and respected. And I mentioned a lot of these here in the episode. So if you want to get my free guide, 25 behaviors that break the trust and respect with a man, comment respect below and I'll send you the link to my free guide. Here's my biggest advice, ladies. Choose a man that you admire today, that you appreciate today, that you would not change, that the little things are like, they're a moot point. They don't matter, but you, for the most part, you trust and respect and admire today, not a man that you hope will change tomorrow. Choose a man that you admire today, not a man that you hope will change tomorrow. This is the key to getting everything that you want from a man: love, safety, protection, guidance, feeling committed. He will be totally attracted to you. You will feel like you are the only woman in the world. This is key. And if you don't, you have deeper stuff that needs to get taken care of and healed. And you can DM me if this feels like this is something that you want to do, work with me. You can find out more information about that here below, and get on the Segura waitlist so that when we open up again, this program is perfect for you. You know you need it. A truly secure, masculine, and confident man does not need you to change him or fix him or guide him to become better. He's already leading himself, right? He already has vision. He already knows his direction. Your role to choose wisely, right? Trust wisely and let him be a man. That's all you have to do. Because when a man feels trusted and respected and accepted, he will naturally step up. He will naturally love you deeper, and he will naturally commit to you fully. I hope this was helpful. Again, click below to get the free guide, 25 behaviors that break trust and respect with a man. So you can find out if you're doing these and stop doing them. Just stop whenever you notice that you're doing it. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week.